Welcome to Kutch time. Today is December 30th, 2025, and the Detroit Pistons just beat the LA Lakers 128 to 106, moving to 25 and 8 on the NBA season. The Pistons completely dominated Los Angeles in the fourth, winning the quarter 32 to 18, leading to Detroit's biggest win in LA in the entire franchise history. This is a series that has lasted since I believe the 60s, whenever the Lakers moved to LA at that point and the Pistons were in Detroit. It's a series that's gone on for 50 plus years. And the Pistons were led by a hero that most probably couldn't have predicted. It was Marcus Sasser filling in for injured Karis LeVert, who had 19 points tonight. There's a lot to love tonight in a 20-point victory against the Lakers. Cade, complete dominance in the first half. He had 20 points in the first half. He finishes with 27. That's just because the Lakers basically whole defensive plan moved to let's double Cade. Everyone else can cook. Everyone else cooked, and that's why they lost by so much. Cade 27 points, 11 assists, 5 rebounds. It was an all-around great game. I think Greg Kessler kept talking about it and on the FanDuel broadcast how the first half of this game, the second half of last game against the Clippers, Cade would have combined for 47 points. And the biggest story of this game is Marcus Sasser. This is a guy who really hasn't gotten real minutes the entire season. I don't think he has. He's gotten a couple minutes here and there. He was hurt for the first, I think, 2 months, 2 months-ish, month and a half. And that since coming back, just really hasn't played, kind of sat on the bench, only coming in garbage time, which as of late hasn't had that much. A lot of close games as of recent, whether it be losing or winning. But he finishes with 19 points, 5 assists. He had 2 steals, and he was 4 for 6 from 3. And if he, during this injury stretch, if Karis LeVert keeps being injured, if Tobias Harris was also hurt today, but there's a couple of injuries. If Marcus Sasser is the guy to fill in that role, we had Danish Jenkins early in the season, but if Marcus Sasser is now filling in the role, he has been this 3-and-D guy. He showed both today at a very high rate. He could easily make his way onto this roster, onto rotation minutes. And with Karis LeVert really being on the down stretch before this injury, before being out today, and the last two quarters of the Clippers game, Marcus Sasser could easily take a role here. And I mean, his defense is better than LeVert, and I don't know telling his consistency on his 3-point basis for the season, but if Sasser can hit even close to what he does tonight, it'll be better than Karis LeVert's on a night-by-night basis. So it was a very nice, surprising night by Marcus Sasser, and who's to tell what JB Bickerstaff does with this role going forward. Isaiah Stewart had 50 points. At one point it was 50 points, 50 minutes, point a minute. I think he finished with about 17.5 minutes using the garbage time. Just solid all around offensive night. Jalen Duren, 14 points, 8 rebounds, had a career high 5 steals. That's kind of surprising, kind of out of nowhere, but he got it. New career high for him. Good for him. Ron Holland, another kind of him and Marcus Sasser. Those minutes are what really won the Pistons this game. Yes, the Stars were doing it. The Stars were keeping it close. The Stars were beating the Lakers starters, but not by too much. It was always kind of kept keeping close. But then the Marcus Sasser, Ron Holland, Isaiah Stewart minutes, the real gritty defensive focus where the offense is kind of chaotic, but when it works, it's running. And Ron Holland had 11 points and 7 rebounds. I think the second best plus minus today, I think Javonte Green had the best. Maybe someone else also was in there because Isaiah Stewart wasn't over on Holland. But either way, amazing game by Ron Holland, amazing game by Marcus Sasser, amazing game by Isaiah Stewart. The bench worked today, and eventually some of those guys won't be on the bench. There obviously was some issues today before the fourth quarter. It was a pretty close game through and through. That the Lakers actually tied it 79-79. Just after that point, it kind of collapsed from the Lakers, and the Pistons kind of seemingly got a 20-point lead quite quickly after that point. There's 18 turnovers. That's the real issue. Cade and Duren both had 5, so they had over half the turnovers just between those two players. Everyone else had 1 or 2. I don't think anyone had 3 or above other than those two. Cade's going to get a lot of turnovers. 5 is a lot. Duren shouldn't get 5 turnovers. One of them was a really bad play. He was just kind of holding the ball and just kind of let it smack out of his hands. So he's got to be more active. But luckily tonight it didn't really matter. We could have 18 turnovers and still won by 20. The Lakers sucked. Um, Tobias Harris got hurt. That's never good. Yes, he has been struggling, and yes, last game I very much was critiquing his game, and just his game so far this whole season. Because he's been struggling from a shot, but it's a hip injury, instead of hip sprain, so it could be multiple games he's out now, which would probably mean an increased role for Isaiah Stewart and Ron Holland. And yes, it's sad that Tobias Harris might miss some time, but I would like to see Stewart and Ron Holland have an increased role going forward, even if Tobias Harris is back. And then Asar Thompson, his free throw shooting is probably the biggest hole in his game. He's one for, and I'm a huge Asar Thompson fan. Like, he is my second favorite Piston. Um, I have his jersey. I have the City Edition from the Bad Boys, the his rookie season when we went on the longest losing streak in NBA history in a single season. I have his jersey. I've been a supporter of him for his whole career, but his free throw shooting is just abysmal, and it's gotten worse. 1 for 4 tonight, 58.5% on the season. I mean, we're getting like the worst of Andre Drummond. Not maybe the worst, but getting close to Andre Drummond numbers. Not to Ben Wallace yet, but slowly getting there, and it can't keep going down. Last year, Asar shot at a mid 60s clip from the free throw line, which still isn't good, but it's something. He's now shooting in the high 50s, and it's bad. Um, and Asar's dry. He can't shoot from the 3 point shot. He only shoots when he's wide open. He does attempt some mid ranges. He does make some mid ranges, but his real shot is driving to the paint and getting dunks, getting layups, getting contact finishes. Keywords contact. He's getting fouled a decent amount because he's a rim running guy. But if he can't hit the free throws, he's almost unplayable on the offensive end. And yes, he does make up for it on the defensive end most nights. But if the other team gets going on offense and you have a star there and he can't really do anything to help you out on the offensive end, if his free throw shot's not working and another team knows that, so they're even more likely to foul him and just waste a possession. It's hard. It just gets harder and harder to play him. And I hate to see it because Asar Thompson is an amazing player. He just needs to get that free throw shot worked out. Next game is the New Year's Day, not Eve, Day, against the Heat. So it's Thursday night against the Heat. Won't have a recap for that. I'll have a preview up for that one. So hopefully we can win that game and start the new year out undefeated. Thank you.